Welcome to a baking day in my life in a commercial kitchen. This has been a big change for me, no longer being a home-based business, but you'll see some things haven't changed. As usual, first thing in the morning, I start out with proofing my focaccia dough because that takes about 2 hours. So measuring out into pans with olive oil and stretching those a bit just to let them go at room temperature and get fluffy and puffy like we love. At this time, I didn't have my Rofco oven yet, so I was still doing baguettes, which for a few weeks you guys enjoyed, and they are more labor intensive than loaves, so I enjoy them less. But what are you going to do when you only have access to convection ovens and not a stone interior bread oven? The focaccia dough gets stretched a bit, and that roughly shapes it into a more cohesive shape. So then it'll proof for the next 2 hours, spread out a bit, and then I'll dimple season it and put it in the oven. As you can see now, 2 hours have passed, so I'm putting a bit of olive oil on my fingers, dimpling the dough, and then adding salt and rosemary on top for my classic sourdough focaccia. I've been debating doing flavors of focaccia, like maybe a jalapeno cheddar or herb and onion, garlic, stuff like that. Let me know what you think of that and if you would like to see that. And into the oven they go. I can fit about 24 focaccias in these ovens. Just one oven. So that's incredible. Next thing to go in are cookies. It took a little bit to get used to baking these in a convection oven because I'll tell you, it runs hotter, but they have been turning out very well. And then, of course, baguettes. Using my homemade peel, I scoop them out of the parchment paper couche that I made and put them on floured trays with parchment paper underneath because I made that mistake the first time, not putting flour on the parchment paper, and they stuck together. But yeah, that is everything I baked on one of my first baking days in the commercial kitchen. I'm excited to keep baking for you guys and keep learning.